What if I told you the most successful hunter on Earth isn't this? A lioness, a symbol of predatory perfection, spends most of her hunt in failure. She is a master of the chase, but the chase, more often than not, ends with her prey escaping. Or this, the great white, an ambush hunter of terrifying power. Even with it's an ambush from below, its success rate is a coin flip, around 50%. Even a pack of wolves, working together with complex strategy, might only succeed 40–50% of the time. The apex predators we respect are, by nature, experts at failure. They miss, they misjudge, they go hungry. Their lives are a constant calculation of energy spent versus energy gained, and failure is a very real, very costly part of that equation. What if I told you the deadliest predator in the animal kingdom is probably in your backyard right now, completely overlooked? An ancient creature that solved the problem of hunting millions of years ago and hasn't had to change the design since. This is the dragonfly. And while a lion is successful on a good day, 30% of the time, this aerial acrobat has a kill rate of over 95%. That means for every 20 insects it decides to hunt, 19 of them end up as dinner. It doesn't just get lucky, it almost never makes a mistake. For this hunter, failure is not an option. It's a living missile that hits its target every single time. And it will do this hundreds of times a day, consuming its own body weight in prey. So, what makes this tiny insect a more efficient hunter than almost any other animal on the planet? The answer isn't one thing. It's a whole suite of biological superpowers perfected by 300 million years of ruthless evolution. It was mastering the art of flight 150 million years before the first birds even walked the earth. It is, in every sense, a living fossil and a perfect killing machine. It all starts with vision. A dragonfly's head is almost all eye. Each of those giant compound eyes is made of up to 30,000 individual lenses called ommatidia, each one pointing in a slightly different direction to build a complete mosaic of the world. Unlike our eyes, which create one single, high-resolution image, the dragonfly's eyes create 30,000 individual pictures. This isn't great for seeing a sharp, static object, but it is unbelievably good at detecting motion. A single mosquito moving just one lens over is an unmissable, flashing signal. This gives it a true 360-degree field of vision. This is why it's so hard to sneak up on one. It saw you long before you saw it, from nearly every angle at once. It also sees the world in colors we can't even imagine. While we have 3 types of light-sensitive proteins, opsins, in our eyes, for red, green, and blue, dragonflies have at least 11, and some as many as 30. This includes the ability to see ultraviolet light, which is a game changer. To a dragonfly, a fly isn't camouflaged against the blue sky. The sky is a bright, washed-out UV field, and the fly, which absorbs UV light, stands out like a dark, unmissable speck. There is no hiding. And as if that weren't enough, it also has 3 smaller, simpler eyes on top of its head called ocelli. These don't see images, but they are hypersensitive to changes in light and motion, acting like a tiny horizon detector or a biological gyroscope. They instantly tell the dragonfly's brain which way is up, and if it's rolling or pitching, allowing it to maintain perfect balance and orientation even in high-speed, high-G turns. All of this information is processed by a brain that dedicates over 80% of its computing power just to sight. Its brain is essentially a dedicated hyper-fast image processor built for one purpose: to find a target and never lose it. But here's the crazy part. It doesn't just see its prey, it predicts its future. A dragonfly doesn't chase its prey. Chasing is inefficient. It wastes precious energy, and it gives the prey a chance to react. Instead, it calculates the speed and trajectory of a mosquito or fly and flies to where it's going to be. It's a complex neurological feat, like a quarterback throwing a football to a receiver who is still running. The dragonfly locks onto its target, tracks its movement, calculates its own speed, and flies a perfect interception course, all in a fraction of a second. It's actually more complex than that. It's simultaneously tracking the target, its own position in 3D space, and the background to make sure its target isn't just a leaf blowing in the wind. By the time the mosquito's simple brain even registers a threat, it's already in the dragonfly's grasp, a spiny, inescapable basket formed by its legs, ready to be eaten in midair. And its flight system is pure science fiction. Most insects flap their wings by flexing their entire thorax, like popping the lid on a can. Not the dragonfly. It has direct flight muscles attached to each of its 4 wings, giving it a level of fine-tuned, precise control that is almost unheard of in the animal kingdom. It can move them all independently. It can flap its front wings up while its back wings go down, creating unmatched stability. It can rotate them and change their angle of attack on every single stroke, creating tiny, powerful vortices that allow it to hover with perfect stability. This independent control is the secret to its maneuverability. This system allows it to fly straight up, down, sideways, and even backward, a feat very few flying creatures can manage. It can hover in one spot, pivot 180 degrees in an instant, and accelerate to over 30 miles per hour, pulling G-forces in a turn that would make a human fighter pilot black out. The dragonfly's rigid, simple body is perfectly adapted to these forces. It just adjusts and keeps hunting. While early birds were just learning to glide, the dragonfly was already the undisputed master of the air. But the most incredible and frankly terrifying part of the dragonfly is its secret life, because the beautiful, shimmering creature you see in the air is only the final, fleeting stage of its life. The flying adult you see might only live for a few weeks or months. It's a brief, glorious finale. The real life of the dragonfly is spent underwater. For most of its existence, sometimes for up to 5 years, it lives as a completely different animal, an animal that is pure, relentless predator. This creature is a living fossil. The basic design was so perfect, it's barely needed to change. 300 million years ago, its ancestors, the Meganeura, ruled the skies. Back in the Carboniferous period, the air had almost 50% more oxygen than it does today. This high-octane atmosphere fueled their massive bodies, allowing them to get gigantic. We're talking about dragonflies with wingspans of over 2 feet, the size of a modern-day hawk. They were the first true kings of the sky, hunting other giant insects and perhaps even small early amphibians, long before the dinosaurs evolved. Dragonflies are a critical part of our ecosystem, and as one of the best natural mosquito controls we have, they are definitely a bug you want in your corner. What's your favorite fact about them? Or have you ever been lucky enough to watch that incredible alien metamorphosis happen? I'd love to hear about your own dragonfly encounters. Let me know in the comments below.